And here at Eureka CSL, we like to start every morning off in a very special way, and that's by saying our community statement of inclusion. So if you'll join me, we're going to say the first part together as soon as Marvin gets that up on the screen, and then the last line, we'll turn to someone near us and greet everyone and thank them for being here as well. All right, so let us begin. We are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. I honor the path that brought you here this morning. I honor the path that brought you here this morning. I honor the path that brought you here this morning. Oh, wonderful. And you'll see here is our weekly schedule of everything that is going on this week. All of the details and registration links are on the website as soon as Marvin gets that up there. Oh, there it is. So these are all of the announcements. We'll go through, kind of highlight a couple of those. And I get to start off with one about me. It's not really about me, it's about you. It's self-care for the soul. So this is a Heese-inspired service. We know that self-care a lot of times takes on the form of massage or a bath or something physical. And this is something that we can do for our emotional, mental, and spiritual health as well. If you've been to a Heese experience, it's a very Heese-inspired service. There'll be some chanting, we'll do some discussion, a bit of a meditation and visualization, and as well as a small writing exercise. So I hope that you will all join me. We are going to do this on Zoom, so everyone is invited. Please bring a candle, something to light it with, a piece of paper, and something to write with. I didn't realize that would kind of rhyme. Oh, it doesn't have a time. What did we say, Angelica? 6:30? 6:30. So 6:30 this Wednesday in our main Zoom room. And speaking of Zoom, we are mixing things up this month. As you can tell, we're here live in the Eureka Center, and it'll be next week on the 16th that Angelica will be down in Ukiah, and we will be on Zoom here in Eureka. I love the picture. That's beautiful. As you may already know, our bookstore, all books are 20% off except for those otherwise marked. Please go and peruse the books. There are some really great titles there. Also, our little pantry is now in the social hall, and I just wanted to thank all of you who remember to bring in food. We really appreciate everyone helping to keep this important resource stocked. Please keep them coming, keep bringing it in. This is so important for our community. All right, and our theme this month is finances. Let's see if we have it this week. Yay! And so this is our beautiful new image for finances. Look at that. I love it. Picking money off trees.
I designed it to show a harvesting of finances.
Yeah. And for those of you on Zoom, Scott said he designed it to show the harvesting for our harvest season, the harvesting of that abundance. All right, and at this time I want to invite Susan and Jackson for our contemplative meditation. We'll do a reading, and then Jackson will play some music after a period of silence, after which there'll be a little more music. Susan will say a prayer, and then Jackson will play us out.
Good morning, everyone. Before I begin with the contemplative that I have chosen, I wanted to give a very grateful thank you to this community because the practitioners just went on retreat this weekend, and because of the generosity of this community, our fund here was able to augment what the practitioners needed to pay for our out-of-town trip. So from all your donations in the past, you have made that possible. So just thank you. Thank you all.
Where did you go?
We went to Miranda Gardens. Yeah, it was a wonderful time. And we now know I feel like our practitioner corps is stronger and more family than it was before, so it was a very great time. My reading this morning is from Ernest Holmes, something that he wrote called Pray and Prosper. And as Karen said, there'll be a minute of silence afterwards, and then Jackson will sing us into the invocation. So if you're comfortable, close your eyes, let these words enter your heart and your soul. Enthusiasm is the most creative of all the imaginative faculties. There is something light, unobstructed, weightless about it. The very thought of the fountain of life suggests something gushing forth, bubbling up from a subterranean passage whose flow is irresistible. It is no wonder the ancients said that the wind whispers, the leaves clap their hands, and the morning stars sing together. Spiritual communion will cause the angels of our better selves to sing, making our consciousness happy. Spiritual communion is not a droll affair. Mysterious one it is. We can never know the all of the divine, but we know each other, and we are part of that. We have as our heart part of the divine heart. We have as our smiles, our hugs, our laughter. It is all part of the infinite one that resides everywhere. And as we come together this morning, whether on Zoom or in person or just heart to heart, we know that we are at the right place at the right time, and we will hear what we need to hear, we will embody what needs to be embodied, and we will know that our spirit, our divinity, our consciousness has expanded just a little bit more, and we are on an upward spiral to greater and greater things. Our abundance flows, our love flows, our heart opens and lets itself express what is to be expressed. And I know that this is so true, and I am so grateful for knowing that we are all one in a community. We are all one of the world. We are one. And so I simply let us celebrate this unique, wonderful oneness that we are, and so it is.
There is only one of us.
And as a unique reflection of the one, I now invite Reverend Angelica to the podium.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Jackson. So let me say something a little bit first about the practitioners retreat that we had the last few days. I'm so proud of our practitioners. They're really pretty amazing people. We prayed together, we workshopped together, we ate together, we traveled around this beautiful place called Marvin Gardens, which is right almost at the end of Avenue of the Giants. Really neat place. If anybody ever wants to go stay in a nice little cottage in the Redwoods, it's a great place to go. But we had a great time, and what I'm knowing is that because of the work that we did on ourselves and as a group, that we raised our consciousness, thereby raising your consciousness as well. So this is a good thing. And it's interesting to me to see this side of the room not as full as it's been lately. I think people went, oh, this is the second Sunday of the month that's supposed to be on Zoom. So Zoomers, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Anyway, so we're working on prosperity or finances. And, you know, this is one of my favorite subjects. I discovered quite a while ago that whatever I wanted, I could have, as long as I got out of my own way. And some of you know what that means. So my talk today is called Let It Flow. And so I'm going to talk about the law of circulation. And you might be sitting there thinking, uh-oh, Reverend Angelica is going to start asking us to give more money. And that's not the talk I'm going to be giving today, though of course we certainly wouldn't refuse any extra money at all. So I have to tell you a story. One Sunday I had to explain to a previous congregation that we were really, really, really in need of some extra money. And it's not my favorite thing to do. At least it wasn't at that time. Now I don't feel so bad about when doing it, because it's just money, right? So I asked everybody to consider being more than generous that day as the plates went around. And after the plates were passed and brought up to me for the blessing, I glanced down and I saw a $1,000 bill in the plate. And I was so excited. I had to share my joy with the congregation. And I invited whoever had put that particular bill in the offering plate to please come up so that we could all officially thank them. And so this very quiet elderly lady who had been sitting in the back came walking up, and as she's walking up, I'm apologizing for putting her on the spot, etc. But I really wanted her to know how much that we appreciated her. And so I said that because she had done this, she could pick out 3 of her favorite hymns for us to use in the service. And her eyes turned really bright. And she turned around and she looked at the audience and she says, I'll take him, I'll take him, and I'll take him. So I was thinking about this idea of prosperity, and I realized that there are 2 kinds of people. There's vacuum cleaners and there's sprinklers. Now the vacuum cleaners allow themselves to vacuum up everything around it. I mean, it sucks up everything. And having had I have this wonderful Shark Navigator Deluxe that's for pets, you know, because you know how much hair cats put out. I've been calling it glitter, but it doesn't seem to glitter like I would like it to. Anyway, so my vacuum cleaner, the handle broke off. I don't know why, but it still sucks really good. It doesn't matter what happens. You know, I duct taped it and did all kinds of things to keep it on there. But what I realized is that a vacuum cleaner sucks everything up around it and it hoards it really well. A sprinkler takes all the energy that flows through it and shares it with everybody. And it distributes it actually wherever it's directed. So my question for you is, are you a hoarder, are you a vacuum, or are you a sprinkler? And I think our world needs more sprinklers, don't you? More sprinklers. Now I'm talking about the energy, not necessarily money, but energy. And that's what money is. It's just a symbol of energy. It wants you, I think that the universe wants us to sprinkle our wisdom and our joy and our peace and our love absolutely everywhere. We all know vacuum cleaners. And we know that there's plenty of those. And so it's our job to be more than that, to allow ourselves to remember that the universe is so abundant that before you even ask, it already knows what you need, or it already knows what you want. There's a difference between need and want, or need and desire. Abraham Hicks says, in the morning when you wake up, none of you stand out on your porch frantically breathing in because you're afraid that later in the day there will be a scarcity of air. You breathe in and you breathe out and think nothing of it. What we want you to understand is that it is the same thing with dollars or anything else. There's no need to go out and hold your breath in an attempt to hold on to the air in case there's a later lack. You are all much closer to a financial fortune right now than you are even willing to dream about, for fear that you will be disappointed if it does not come. Have you ever been in that place where you had an idea about what your good would be like, or what good you wanted to come in your life, and then you sort of back off from asking for it because, well, what if it doesn't happen? Then I'll just be disappointed. That what if it doesn't happen says what to the universe? It's not supposed to happen. Our job as sprinklers, is to realize that, Jesus said it this way, give and you shall receive. So my job as a sprinkler then is to attach myself to the universal spigot and allow myself first of all to receive and then to give out into the world. My teacher, Reverend A, loved teaching prosperity. And I remember one of her classes so clearly where she said, this week, no matter what someone gives you, take it. And of course somebody said, what if they give me cigarettes and I don't smoke? And Helen said, take them, because the next person you meet does smoke, and you'll have an opportunity to give them away. But this idea of allowing ourselves to receive means that we have more to give. And yet, some people feel that they're to be givers and not receive. And what I know about those people is that they usually are always tired, because they've given here, they've given there, they give to their families, they give to their friends, they give to their work. They just give of themselves, and they don't stop and allow themselves to be replenished. So how do you replenish yourself? Well, of course, in this faith tradition, what you do is you meditate. You allow yourself to go into the stillness, and you meditate with music, You meditate by walking in nature. You meditate by sitting in a particular, I have a prayer chair that I've taken with me all around my travels from Canada to Baltimore to here. The moving guy was really sort of laughing at me because as he's going around my townhome in Baltimore before I moved, I'm going, no, I'm not taking that. No, I'm not taking that. Oh, I'm taking all those bookcases, and I'm taking that chair, and a couple other pieces. It's like, well, what about the couch? No, one will show up. I wanted it to cost less than I thought it was going to cost. And I moved into this house here, and it already had stuff in it, so it was really great. This center furnished it for me, even to food in the refrigerator and toilet paper in the bathroom. It was just wonderful. So this whole idea of give and you shall receive, I think people forget about the receiving part. And it works in every area of your life. If you want more money, give money. If you want more love, give love. If you want more time, give time. Whatever it is that you're giving will come back to you really easily, especially if you believe it. This is the one thing about our tradition, is that you have to believe in the spiritual principles for them to work for you. Because if there's a part of you that is negating them, then the universe goes, okay, you don't like that principle, it won't work for you. One of the things I want you to really believe in right now is that there is a never-ending supply of the energy of spirit. Divine energy is it is absolutely all that there is. Everything that is made of this divine energy. So we might allow ourselves to move into that acceptance that within here, the me that's living in this body is divine energy. The me that's living in this room, in this space of time right now, it's divine energy. Everything that there is divine energy. And I like to think of it as everything being alive. Everything is alive. And science will prove that. If you listen to them, that you can take a little piece of this carpet and go way down to the subatomic level, and you'll find that the atoms in there are moving around. They're alive. Everything is alive. So this means that right where we are right now, there's an abundance of everything we could possibly want. And if you feel that you do not have something, or there's a lack of something in your life, you need to look at what is it in me that is believing in that lack. It could be a bottom line belief of I don't deserve it. It could be another bottom line belief of I'm not enough, and so I can't have it. But those are lies. They're absolute lies. There is nothing in the universe that says you don't deserve to be more wealthy or more loving, have more love in your life, or have more peace in your life, or prosperity. I mean, prosperity is not just money, it's all things. There's nothing that says that except in here. So our job in this month of financial abundance is to look at where are we believing that we're not enough. Where are we believing that we don't deserve to have the things that we desire to have? Because, the universe says yes. I have so many wonderful stories in my life of just allowing the universe to do what it does so well and having that appear in my life materially as something wonderful. I was telling a story to somebody the other day about how I've always been attracted to Egypt. Just ever since I was a kid, there was something about Egypt that really attracted me. And the first time I ever traveled outside of California was when I moved to Hawaii. So, here I am making this one journey, and I started church there, and one day I got a poster in the mail, the church does, about a new conference that's going to start happening called Personal and Planetary Spiritual Evolution. And the first experience of this conference is going to be in Cairo, Egypt. And I'm going, oh, Egypt, oh, I want to go. And I look at my bank account, nope. I look at the church's bank account, nope. Actually, seemed like, when you start a church, everything you make ends up going right back into the church. But, this is what I love to do, so it didn't bother me at all. But I ended up throwing this flyer in the trash, thinking, well, not this time, maybe another time. But I kept thinking about it, oh my God, here's my opportunity to go to Egypt, and I can't afford it. But I want to go. I can't afford it. And a couple weeks later, I got a call at the church from a lady named Terry, who owned a place called Power Places Tours. And she said, your name was given to me to be a speaker at the Personal and Planetary Spiritual Evolution and conference in Egypt. I went, what? And as she's going on, I'm feeling like I'm going to faint, because this was just so amazing to me. They paid most of my expenses. I could afford it. Oh my God, I'm going to Egypt. And it was just such an incredible experience of my letting my desire be greater than my I can't. It actually was a thing where I basically said, okay, God, this is what I'd really like to do. If you can make it work, make it work. And then just let it go. And it worked. And it was so wonderful because I know I had a life there at one point. The first morning, we're staying at the Mina House Oberheim, which is used to be a hunting chalet kind of thing, huge place for one of the sheiks, whatever. But anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. We get there at midnight. And that morning, I'm sitting on the balcony going, oh my God, there's the Great Pyramid. Oh my God, I'm in Egypt. I am so lucky. And this voice says, luck had nothing to do with it. Okay. I go downstairs to go out to the dining room for breakfast because the dining room was in another building. And as I go out the front door, there's a camel, an Arabian stallion, and something else, which I don't remember, but these men dressed beautifully in their galabayas, their clothes, Egyptian clothes, were moving through the circular driveway playing Egyptian music. And my whole body gave out. I fell onto the stairs where I landed on my butt. Luckily, I have a well-padded one. And I land on my butt, and my mind is going, I'm home, I'm home, I'm home. That started the most amazing 10-day adventure I ever had. We went to so many different places, and I already knew them. And even our tour guide said, so how long have you been studying Egyptology? I said, I don't. I've been here before, but not in this life. And that had actually been confirmed for me from years before that. When I was much younger, I went to this wonderful bookstore on the lower part of Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. There was a lady named Mama Larson, and people used to like hang out in front of her bookcase where her chair and cash register and stuff was, and talk to her about all kinds of stuff. And it was a very metaphysical kind of place. And I decided I want a set of tarot cards. So that was the place to go get them. And so I go in the store, and there are so many people standing there talking to her, and unfortunately the tarot cards were all in the glass case that they're standing in front of. So I think, okay, well, I'm just going to look at some books and things while I'm waiting for her to not be busy. And I go to this beautiful library table, and there's Harper's Bazaar magazines from the 20s with Erte as the main artist, who I love. And so I'm leafing through these magazines, and all of a sudden this voice says in my ear, first of all, these cats started dripping off the bookcases. Jumping up on the table. I'm petting like 4 cats at a time, and suddenly I'm standing there just in my glory with all these cats, and this lady says, "You used to be a high priestess in the Temple of Bast." What? And that then added so much to my adventure in Egypt. So what I want us all to do during this month is to remember how amazing we are, how magnificent we are, how divinely worthy we are of having the things that are calling to us. Because the universe is always laying out this banquet table in front of us, saying, "Here, come take something. Partake freely." And yet we stand back because we don't think we deserve it, or we don't think we're worthy of it. What I know is that you are impeccable, you are divine, you are worthy, you're beautiful, you're holy, you're talented, you're everything that your heart desires you to be. So whatever the shroud is, or the layering is that you've entombed yourself in any area of your life, rip that off. Because the universe is expressing uniquely as you and wants to continue it. And as it continues it, you just keep getting greater and greater. And of course, that greater depends on what you believe that word means. Remember that it's all about what we believe. And today, I want you to believe that as you give, you shall receive. Not just money, but everything. And the way the world is now, the way we believe the world is now because of what we see out there, our world needs love. It needs it really badly. So this week I'm going to ask you also that if you start finding yourself going down that anger place with the awareness of that person that shouldn't be named, then pull yourself back and give that person love. Give everyone love. If your neighbor's always too noisy and you're always complaining about it, give them love. I'm going to tell you that this teaching is not an easy one. But when we allow ourselves to move through it and keep doing what we know to do, it gets easier and easier and easier. And you can see the results of it. You can experience the results of it. So let's say, did I put I didn't put an affirmation there this time. So let's just go into treatment. This is what I know is true. That each one of us is a holy being, a sacred being. Our bodies are the sacred temple for that idea that we call God. So I know that this week we allow ourselves to breathe deeply into this idea, to remember that who we are is a unique expression of that oneness. Who we are is loving and deserving. Who we are is something magnificent. And how could we be anything else? We are the very presence of the divine. And I know that as we remember this, because there's some place in us that knows, as we remember this, the whole universe showers us with blessings. Blessings of all kind. Financial, love, anything you could possibly imagine. And so we allow ourselves to be great receivers. And in turn, being made in the image and likeness of the divine, we allow ourselves to be great givers. I know that we're all sprinklers. As we move through our lives, we emanate the energy that blesses people, that nurtures people, that supports people. And that energy comes back and fills us up completely, instantly. As soon as we give out, we get. And how grateful I am to know this. And I know for each one of us this week that we have an experience that proves this to us, that as we give, we receive. And so with a grateful heart, I acknowledge the divine in each and every one of us. I know that this source energy, this divine energy, is supporting us 100%. How grateful I am. And so it is. Thank you, Jackson. You know, your playing just brings in another level to the treatment. I just love it. Thank you so much. And if Jeff is playing along as well, that helps. All I heard was the piano this time, so you guys are great. And we get to have a great experience right now with Anna Hamilton.
How great thou art.
You know, as we drift and try to bring our core together for these in the meditations, and she's talking, and she said the one who shall not be named, and I'm thinking of, you know, like Judaism, Mohammedism, and I'm going, the one, okay, back to the core, and then I realized who she was talking about. I'm going, well, these little bumper sticker thoughts, no matter where they come from, they bring us back to the center. I wrote this next song in 1973, and I'd come back to Laguna Beach and found the Sawdust Festival, which had just started, which was an arts and crafts fair made by the artisans and people who'd been rejected from the formal art show, yeah, fancy pants. So this was all make your own booth and everything, and it's under the eucalyptus trees, a quarter mile from the ocean, and it's right after the Summer of Love, so it's all people like us, hippied out, beautiful love children. And I hit this after, being on bouncing around after Haight-Ashbury, and it was so cool. So when I sing this song, if I'm not smiling, I'm just concentrating, trying to make it play as well as Jackson does and not make any guitar mistakes and whatever, but I should be smiling the whole time. So will you do that for me when I'm singing this? Let's see how old Betsy's feeling this morning. Is she all right? How do you like it in here? Rosie? Anybody want to give this guitar a name? Big Red. My bed or yours?
I wouldn't know. Actually, I should.
Which one was it? I had the sniffles this week, and we're not singing very high this morning, so.
It's going to be perfect.
It is perfect. That's perfect.
You want
That's
some
perfect.
flat,
Isn't it
right?
perfect? Hi, well, you guys that didn't come. You're missing a really nice day. The coffee. We made 2 pots of coffee today. I wish I had a simple song so I could let you know how I feel today. So I'll go on with my simple song so I can let you know that you're blowing me away. Flowing with the sea, a bird on the wing, the light from the sun makes me want to sing. Loving you here in the sun. It's been a long time coming, and it's not here yet, but we're gonna have it, and on that I'll bet. But being here with you, I can feel it come, and having you near makes me feel just like someone flowing with the sea, a bird on the wing, the light from the sun makes me want to sing. Loving you here in the sun. But being here with you, I can feel it come, and having you near makes me feel just like someone someone, loving you here in the sun. Loving you here in the sun. Loving you here in the sun. It's so bright I gotta wear shades. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So let's think about the offering that we're going to be giving this Sunday, whether we're putting it in the mail or however we're giving it, putting it in the basket. And imagine just infusing that offering with your energy, giving it love, infusing it with love, with peace, with prosperity. And let's say this affirmation together. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing this blesses the center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. And you know, from the next, this is how you can give if you're online. That they go into the center's office and support everything that we're doing here, that they come back out and bless our community, and that we feel grateful. We feel rich, we feel grateful, and we thank God for it, and so it is. Where's the $1,000 bill?
Checks in the mail.
I thought you were going to tell us that it was fake.
I brought in the mail today. There was quite a few envelopes in the mail today too, which was nice. So, who would like to read our statement of inclusion this morning? Lori, come up.
Wanted me to walk faster. That was just too much of a saunter. Okay. We, the Eureka and Ukiah Centers for Spiritual Living, are communities that celebrate diversity, foster inclusion, champion inner work, and create space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are communities that honor the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocate with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are communities that bless each other, see sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners so we may grow together and understand that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
So after the last 2 weeks and our fabulous speakers that we had, who has a demonstration that they'd like to share? Lori.
I'll just say it here.
I'll repeat it.
When I got back from Italy, which was a demonstration, I noticed that Sarah Bareilles was coming to town, and all the tickets that were free were gone. And I thought, oh, it'd be really nice to go to that, you know. I don't have any expectation because, you know, I wasn't here when the tickets were given away. And I had met up with a friend, and she's like, really, Sarah Bareilles? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I have an extra ticket to go to the concert. So I will be going to the concert, thanks to that wonderful demonstration.
Great. So for those of you in the Zoom rooms, Lori said that she got back from Italy, which was also a demonstration, and found out that Eureka is having Sarah Bareilles here to sing and doing a free concert, but all the tickets were gone when she called. And then a friend came over and said, hey, I got an extra ticket. You want to go? So she manifested one, which is really pretty good considering all the people. And by the way, Zoomers, that's one of the reasons why we, and congregation here, that's one of the reasons why I chose to move the Zoom Sunday to next Sunday, because I believe quite a few people are going to be going to that concert in the afternoon, and they'll probably want to stay home in the morning. And the main reason is because Marvin is going to be doing a video of it, and he will be gone setting up his equipment in absolutely the perfect spot, etc., in the morning, so we wouldn't be able to do this unless I set up my laptop and we did it the old-fashioned way. So I thought, oh, it was perfect time to make a little switch. However, we will go back to the second Sunday next month. So it'll continue being the second Sundays. So, anybody else have a demonstration? Yes, Anne.
I do. So, the whole time we were talking today, it reminded me of my boyfriend and I went to Santa Cruz, and we wanted to ride the Big Dipper. And I've been together with him going on 7 years, and giving him little tidbits from Abraham, and just like, stay positive, you know, just set your intention and this and that. So I asked him, I said, do you want to sit in the front or in the back on the roller coaster? And so he was like,
oh, I really like the front and the back. But how can we? There's no way. Look at, you know, and I didn't know at the time, but as a kid, he would count the people that were, you know, so he could get in the front or the back. I didn't know this till after.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, he goes, it's impossible. I said, no, it's not. I said, what do you want to do? And he goes, well, I'd be happy with the front or the back. And sure enough, you know, however it worked out, somebody, you know, wanted to be here and there, and we end up being in the back. And it made such an impact on him. He brings it up all the time. So he is wanting a truck, and I showed him this truck that's at Bear River that's going to be. I said, do you want the front seat or the back seat?
This is a great story. Anne just told a story about her boyfriend, and she were going to be on a roller coaster, and they were figuring out where they wanted to be, and the boyfriend always knew, even as a kid, where he wanted to be, and they ended up manifesting the exact perfect seat in the back. And that now he wants a truck, and so she asked him, do you want the front seat or the back seat? This truck happens to be one of the prizes at Bear River right now, so good thing. I will know for you that he gets it. That'll be fun. That'll be really fun. All right. However it comes, that's right. The universe knows exactly the perfect right way. That's the wonderful thing about this teaching. I once called it the lazy person's teaching, because you do have to study a lot to get to believe these principles, but once you do, you just put out your intention and go, and then let it go, and the universe figures out the way that is the most perfect for you, which is absolutely wonderful. So let's stand up and sing our peace song, and we will close our service. After the peace song, they're probably going to be playing some music a little bit.
Rock and roll will never die.
We'll do a RScP.
I do know that there is coffee and crackers and something out there. Imagine that you're holding hands if you don't actually want to hold them. So let's go for it.